I've never been afraid of monsters. What scared me was silence. Not the normal kind, the kind you hear in a forest at night. The kind where there are no cars, no voices, no lights, just darkness, and the feeling that something is listening. My dad always said camping builds character. I always thought it builds anxiety. But when my best friend, Mason, invited me on a weekend camping trip with his older brother, my dad didn't give me a choice. The place was called Blackwood Forest. 2 hours away from the nearest town, no streetlights, almost no cell signal, just trees stretching endlessly in every direction and a single lake hidden, deep inside the woods. We arrived just before sunset. The sky was turning orange and the air smelled like wet dirt and pine. As we set up our tents, something caught my eye beyond the tree line. At first I thought it was a radio tower, then I looked closer. It was a roller coaster, old, rusted, frozen in place. Half a mile from our campsite stood an abandoned fairground, a collapsed ticket booth, a Ferris wheel with missing cars, and a massive wooden roller coaster that looked like it hadn't moved in decades. Mason told me the park shut down in the late 1990s. Money problems, he said. That's all. But that night, after everyone fell asleep, my phone caught one weak bar of signal. I searched the name of the fairground. What I found made my stomach drop. 6 years ago, a teenage boy disappeared near the park. Witnesses last saw him walking toward the fairground at night. No body was ever found. The case was never solved. I showed Mason. He laughed it off. People disappear all the time. Doesn't mean anything. But I noticed something. He didn't laugh for long. Around 12:17 a.m., the forest went quiet. No insects, no wind, no movement. It felt like the woods were holding their breath. That's when Mason whispered, "Let's go check it out." Just for a minute. I knew it was a bad idea. I went anyway. We grabbed our flashlights and slipped into the trees. Every step snapped twigs under our feet. Somewhere far away, an owl cried. The closer we got, the colder it felt. Not physically, something deeper. Like dread. The fence around the fairground was broken in several places. We stepped through a gap and entered. Up close, the park looked worse. Paint peeled off every surface. Metal creaked as it swayed in the wind. A sign reading Funhouse hung crooked, banging softly against its frame. We walked past old game booths. Stuffed animals still hung inside, sun-bleached and torn. One teddy bear dangled by a single thread, spinning slowly. Then we reached the roller coaster. It towered above us like a skeleton. "Let's climb it," Mason said. I hesitated. Then I followed him. Each step groaned beneath our weight. The wood complained, creak, crack, creak. Halfway up, I heard something below us. Footsteps. I stopped. "Did you hear that?" Mason shook his head. "Probably an animal. But animals don't walk slowly." We reached the top. The view was unreal. Moonlight spilled across the forest. The lake shimmered in the distance like black glass. For a moment, everything felt calm. Then Mason froze. "Look," he whispered. Near the park entrance, something moved. At first, I thought it was a shadow. Then my flashlight caught it. A man. He stood between two booths, partially hidden. He wasn't wandering. He was staring straight up at us. Even from that distance, I could tell something was wrong. His clothes were filthy and torn, like he'd been sleeping outside for days. One sleeve was dark, soaked in something dried and stiff. Then he stepped forward. Moonlight hit his face. There was dried blood across his cheek, along his jaw, down his neck. My heart slammed so hard I felt dizzy. He didn't yell. He didn't run. He just stared. His lips moved. We couldn't hear what he was saying, but it felt like he was talking to us. Mason grabbed my arm. "We need to leave now." We rushed down the stairs, barely keeping our balance. When we reached the bottom, he was gone. Too gone. No footsteps. No sound. Then we heard it. Leaves crunching behind us. We ran. Branches whipped our faces. Our lungs burned. We didn't stop until we reached the tents and slammed the zippers shut. Neither of us slept. All night long, we heard movement outside. Slow footsteps, circling, stopping just inches from the tent. By morning, police cars flooded the campsite. An officer told us a body had been found near the lake. A murder. The killer was still missing. I looked at Mason. We didn't say a word, because we both knew the truth. We had seen him, and worse, he had seen us. And wherever he was now, he knew exactly who we were. I was 22 when I got a job as a night lifeguard at a luxury hotel just outside Houston. The hotel looked perfect. Shiny marble floors, soft ambient lighting, an indoor heated pool, and private cabanas. During the day, it was full of families and business travelers. Everything seemed completely normal. But I didn't work during the day. My shift was 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. The strange rule: before they hired me, the manager gave me a strange condition. If you speak Spanish, don't use it here. I laughed. I thought it was a joke. But he wasn't joking. I'm half Mexican. Spanish is my first language at home. But I needed the job, so I lied. I don't speak Spanish. He studied my face for a moment, then hired me. That was the first red flag. I had a feeling this job was not normal. The first night was quiet. My job was simple: watch the pool, keep the area clean, and make sure no one swam alone. But after midnight, the usual hotel guests disappeared. A different kind of guest started showing up. They didn't check in at the front desk, they used a side entrance. And on every wrist, they wore blue silicone bands. Security would glance at the bands, nod, and unlock a hidden building behind the pool, the private pool house. That building wasn't on the hotel map. Regular guests were never allowed inside. Suspicious activity. A few nights passed and I noticed patterns. Guests arrived around 3 a.m., stayed only a few minutes, never stepped into the regular pool. One night around 2:15 a.m., a man in a suit dropped his blue band into the pool. He panicked and told me to retrieve it. When I dove in, I saw something strange. Inside the band was a small sealed compartment, like it could hold something valuable or secret. I realized then, these weren't just entry bands. They were carrying something dangerous. Why Spanish was forbidden. 2 nights later, I understood the real reason. Around 3 a.m., I was cleaning near the pool house. The door was slightly open. Inside, I could hear voices, Spanish, fast and nervous. One man said, "How much did they move tonight?" Another answered, "Almost $500,000. My heart sank. Then someone said in English, "Make sure the staff doesn't understand." Silence followed. It became clear they didn't want Spanish-speaking staff because most of the deals were in Spanish, and I understood everything. The mistake. I should have stayed quiet, but fear makes you careless. The next night, my mom called me. Without thinking, I answered in Spanish. "Yes, Mom, I'm working. Everything's fine." I didn't notice the assistant manager, Victor, standing behind me. His face went pale as soon as he heard me. "You said you didn't speak Spanish," he said calmly. I froze. He didn't yell. He didn't show anger. He just said, "Go back to work." That calm tone scared me more than shouting ever could, growing tension. After that night, everything changed. Security followed me everywhere. The blue band guests stared at me longer than before. One even smirked and said, "You hear things you're not supposed to hear?" I stopped sleeping. Every small noise made me jump. Every slow-moving car outside my apartment sent my stomach twisting. Every shadow seemed alive. The danger unfolds. 3 nights later, around 4 a.m., everything went wrong. Inside the pool house, shouting echoed. People rushed out. Someone dropped a black pouch near the pool. I picked it up. Inside were stacks of cash, tiny flash drives. It hit me. The blue bands weren't just for access. They were used to transfer digital accounts, coded information, and money. The pool house wasn't for swimming. It was a hidden money laundering hub. And I was standing right in the middle of it. Victor's look. Victor walked slowly toward me. He looked at the pouch, then at me. No anger, no panic, just calculated sharp eyes. "Give it to me," he said quietly. I handed it over. He leaned closer and whispered, "You were never supposed to understand." That sentence still haunts me to this day. The escape. I didn't wait for my next shift. I didn't give notice. I blocked all the hotel contacts. 2 weeks later, I drove past the hotel. The pool house was closed. A sign said, "Under renovation." The parking lot was completely empty. A month later, the hotel was sold. New management, new name, as if nothing had ever happened. The lesson. Some places don't look dangerous. They look clean, professional, and safe. But danger isn't always obvious. Sometimes it wears a hotel uniform. Sometimes it comes in a calm voice. And sometimes, the only way to survive is to walk away before they decide you know too much.